major arcana, so it's quite likely that there won't be a revelation here, and believe me that there won't. We're dealing with passivity today. So that sort of peacekeeper frame of mind when you're afraid to say no, you don't voice your opinions, you acquiesce during times of conflict. And potentially many other times where conflict isn't really even an issue. It's related to wanting people's approval. Anyhow, enough of all that. Let's take a look at the Five of Wands. It represents rivalry, competition, people wanting to be heard, people dominating one another, or at least attempting to. On the right, you can see this card representation of someone defending themselves against the rest. One of my favourite Five of Wands is the Everyday Witch Tarot deck because it just shows the chaos. You know, no one's really paying attention to what disasters might be occurring or, you know, their surroundings at all. They're all focused on this argument and coming out on top. Needless to say, the passive individual we're dealing with today isn't one of those who came out on top. They did their usual and they acquiesced. I love that word. It's one of my favourites. Importantly, though, I do feel the need to clarify this. It doesn't always have to be an actual conflict. It can be something really trivial, like someone asking you to swap shifts. You might really not want to swap shifts, but you agree to it, and then you feel perhaps resentful, disappointed in yourself. Anyhow, that is what leads us to the Four of Swords. This is when you're processing what has happened and the discomfort that you're feeling. You are withdrawn, you're on your own, you're isolated, and it's a time of recovery, like repairing yourself, ready to perhaps do it all again. But this reflection and this self-examination, it hurts. It requires some tough questions, like perhaps asking yourself, why do I crave approval? Does my opinion mean anything? And while this sort of reflection could really provide that self-awareness and maybe some skills for the future, this is hard. To experience this and look back on your choices and where you're going in life, oh my God, and to examine yourself and your faults, we'll call them, that is hard, that hurts. And it's something that the person today really doesn't have any interest in doing right now. So next thing we know, we're at the Seven of Cups. I call it the eBay shopping card, I always will, because that's my personal affliction. That's my band-aid solution when I'm feeling a bit flat. And it looks like it. Agree with me, please. It does. Well, clearly not the items for sale, but that sort of catalogue shopping. You know what I mean. All right, let's move on. So this is the person's easy remedy. The way to go about things without addressing the underlying problems. The butterflies on the right sort of show that there's this level of freedom now. Well, certainly they're not in that tomb any longer. And this one sort of looks like it might be dripping in gold, but also it's fleeting. You know, it's a mirage really. And that's what the card, the divinatory meaning of the card is as well. It's a fantasy. Check this one out. I came across this one the other day and I thought, wow, this one's more like, not the eBay method, but the Tinder one, would you agree? As you probably notice, this card is about indecision as well, not being able to make up your mind. And the irony that a hallmark of passivity is difficulty in making decisions. And lastly, this is the Seven of Cups from the New Vision Tarot deck. And the in the background, it's like the two mindsets of this person. Like, yes, I want to go for this. I want to go for this quick dopamine hit and distraction. And then the other side of it, thinking, no, don't cop out here. However, though, with all of that said, looking at the Four of Swords and the Seven of Cups, I really don't think that I can blame them. Okay, there you have it. Exploring passive personality and avoidance behaviours. Bye for now.